Okay, so we are here now with Joe Silva from the Stockton Police Department, and we're talking about what happened yesterday. Obviously, some very tragic events that happened. Can you give us just a recap of yesterday's events?
Sure. So on February 24th, just after midnight, we had a report of shots fired and a person laying down in the street in the 7,000 block of Montalban Avenue. And when our officers and medics arrived to the scene, they located two juveniles who were shot. A 14-year-old juvenile boy was pronounced deceased at the scene by medics, and then medics transported our second victim, who turns out to be a 14-year-old boy, to a local area hospital, where unfortunately he died from his injuries. So since this was a double homicide, we called out our investigating team, and so far they've been investigating this case non-stop, and we don't have a motive or any suspect information. And we know that area on Montalban is just right near Hammer Lane, so there's a lot of vehicle traffic on those streets. So someone probably saw something, and we're asking them to say something, because we have two families that are grieving the loss of their family members, and they're asking us for answers, and we need the answers. So if someone saw something, please contact our investigation unit, or if you want to remain anonymous, you can call Stockton Crime Stoppers at area code 209-946-0600.
And I just wanted to clarify, to kind of harp on this, we have a 14-year-old boy and a 15-year-old boy that were killed in the early morning hours of Sunday morning.
Yes, just right after midnight, that's when we got the call of the two juveniles who were shot, and unfortunately both of them died from their injuries.
Has the police department identified either of those gentlemen?
You know, since it's a homicide investigation, the San Joaquin County Coroner's Office would have to release their names, and I don't know if they're at that point where they can do that yet.
Okay. I had read something online that these two teenagers were just riding their bikes down the street right around midnight, and then neighbors heard shots fired. Do you know if that's true?
Yeah, right now we really don't have a motive for this homicide, or we don't really even know the events that led up to this double homicide. So we can't rule out any motive at this time, and that's why we're asking for the community's help. Someone out there had to see something, especially if someone heard the gunshots. People called 911. We need them to do the right thing. If they know who did this to these two boys, they need to get that information to us so that we can make an arrest in this case and hold the person or people responsible for their actions yesterday morning.
Okay. And I don't know if this is confirmed, so this is why I'm asking you. But do you know if one of the boys was from Stockton and another one was from the Sacramento area? Do you know if that's true?
The information I have is that one of the boys is from the Stockton, and the other boy did live up in the Sacramento area.
And any idea of what the boy from Sacramento was doing down here?
You know, I believe he was visiting, and that's still part of our investigation. Is our investigators have been meeting with both families, just trying to figure out exactly what the two boys were doing that morning after midnight.
Okay. Were these the first two homicides of the year, or where are we at on numbers here?
No, that was the second and third homicide for the year, and compare that to last year at this same time, we were already at 4 homicides.
Wow. So, I mean, this is pretty shocking for a community. I mean, so many families relate to this. So many families have teenagers at home. It's shocking to turn on the news and find out there was a 14-year-old and a 15-year-old killed in our area. How is your team even beginning to start the investigation behind figuring out what happened?
Well, once you have this type of double homicide that occurred involving teenage boys, a 14 and a 15-year-old, that's concerning to us at the police department, and the whole community is very concerned. But once again, this case serves as another sad reminder for parents. Know where your children are at, especially after midnight. They should not be out wandering the streets, whether they were walking, riding a bike, or with other people. They need to be at home where they're safe. And if they were just doing that, we wouldn't be standing here having this conversation right now.
And that, I see people asking us questions, asking us why were they out past midnight anyways, so you kind of answered that right there. Can you talk to me a little bit about where we're looking at? Where did this happen here in Stockton?
Yeah, this happened in northeast Stockton on Montalban Avenue near Hammer Lane. Very busy area. It's near the Costco, near Hammer Lane and West Lane. And historically, that area is known for shootings and gang-related activity. Once again, we don't have a motive for this double homicide. but we can't rule anything out. And that's why it's important. If someone knows something, please say something.
Do you believe this was gang related?
You know, at this point, we don't know. We don't have a motive, but once again, we can't rule out anything at this point.
But this neighborhood has been known for shootings in the past?
Yes, that area in northeast Stockton, it has been known for shootings and gang-related activity.
Do you believe there's still a threat out to the community right now?
Well, since we don't have any information on the suspects, obviously we want to know who that person or people are so that we can arrest them and hold them accountable for their actions. Do we believe that there's a threat out there for the general public? At this time, we don't believe that.
But you don't have anyone in custody.
We don't have no one in custody at this point. But our investigators have been working on this nonstop, and that area is getting extra attention from our police officers. Our patrol officers are out there. We're going to have our neighborhood impact team visit that neighborhood in the next couple of days, where we're going to go door to door and just talk to the residents, trying to get some information from them and teach them about Crime Stoppers and how they can report crimes anonymously to us.
And so Kurt and I are heading over to the scene where it happened. Are your investigators still out there right now, or what are we going to see when we drive over there?
Yeah, they were done investigating the actual scene yesterday morning, but there could be officers or detectives out there doing what we call a neighborhood canvass, looking for video surveillance cameras or looking for anybody that may have saw something. So that's why, once again, if it is important, please get that information to us, because we have two families that are grieving the losses of their family members, a 14 and a 15-year-old. And that is concerning to us and touches this whole community deeply. So if someone saw something, please get that information to us so we can make an arrest.
And what's the best way for them to contact you?
The easiest way they can contact us is by calling the Stockton Police Department at area code 209-937-8377. And a lot of times people want to submit tips, and they can do that by calling Stockton Crime Stoppers at area code 209-946-0600, or go to the Stockton Police Department's Facebook page and you can submit a tip that way, or right on our own website you can submit a tip at stocktonpd.org. And please remember, Stockton Crime Stoppers is offering a cash reward up to $10,000 for any information that leads to an arrest in this double homicide.
Right. Anything else that you would like the community of Stockton, or even up in Sacramento, because we know one of these teenagers has family up there. Anything else you want this community to know about this case?
Yeah, we just want information to come in. And if someone up in Sacramento has information, or if they hear rumors, and the same goes here for the citizens here in Stockton, please get any information to us so that we can take a look at it to see if it's accurate or if it's not, because right now we're not getting any information coming in. So once again, even if it's a rumor, if someone hears something at school, please get that to your school resource officer or to a school administrator so we can get that information so that our investigators can try to piece the events that led up to this double homicide.
That must be so frustrating for your team of investigators, not getting any information coming in at all.
Yeah, no, these type of investigations are very frustrating, especially when we aren't getting information in. We have talked to both families, so we do know the families are cooperating with our investigators. But once again, the family members weren't with their loved ones after midnight. And once again, if those kids were just at home where they were supposed to be after midnight, not wandering the streets, we wouldn't be here right now having this conversation. So parents, please just talk to your kids, set curfews for them, tell them they gotta be home by a certain time, and always know where they're at.
Right. Kurt, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Joe, when did you remember the last time you had a double homicide involving teenagers?
Last year, we had a similar case in a different part of Stockton.
And what was that one? Refresh my memory.
That was down in South Stockton.
How old were the teens then?
They were either 15 or 16.
It's pretty uncanny to have a double homicide involving teenagers 1 year to the next two.
Yeah.
Disturbing.
No, I mean, what we've seen, over, the last several years, a lot of these young teenagers, even as young as 12 years old, they're carrying guns on the street. And that's a recipe for disaster. So that's why we have our teams that are out there. And if you see on our Facebook page, we're always out there doing traffic stops, doing pedestrian stops, and we're getting a lot of these guns off the streets, out of the hands of these violent criminals, these gang members, and sometimes they're as old as 12, 13, 14 years old. Because we're trying to prevent these type of situations from occurring, these type of shootings, these type of homicides, because it affects not only law enforcement, not only the community, but you see these grieving family members that it's affecting deeply.
Did those teenagers in this case have guns on them?
The information that I have is we did not locate any weapon at the scene.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I think that's all we needed for you, so thank you
Okay.
for coming out and chatting with us
Thank
today.
you.